Hello, gentlemen. Super short episode today to give you the heads up that the cadence of this podcast is about to change. Now, if you've been paying attention over this last year, you know that we release 2 episodes a week, one on Monday and one on Friday. The Monday episodes are typically with Brian and I. Most of the time we have on a guest that we interview, and the Friday episodes are my solo episodes. We are pushing pause on my solo episodes for the indefinite future to make space for the next evolution of this podcast. Now, if that's all you needed to hear, you're more than welcome to hit the stop button now and go about the rest of your business. However, if you're curious about where we're about to go, hang around for the next few minutes and I'll foreshadow what's to come. Quick and dirty about how we got here. Brian and I have now done over 260 episodes. We started back in January of 2019. We originally did 1 episode a week, just kind of like what we did on, the episodes released on Mondays. And during the global pandemic, when the world was kind of in this state of uncertainty, I doubled down and did daily podcasts for a period of 2 months. I think it was like 60 or 70 podcasts in 60 or 70 days. And then eventually, as we stabilized, started going to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then eventually scaled it back to a Monday and a Friday, which has been our schedule for the past year. Now, I started to feel that there was a deeper calling to get more creative in my life, not just with the podcast, but in every area of my written word, of my spoken word, to start to go deeper, to explore what are the new experiences that I can bring to you guys, right? What are the new listening experiences? What are the realms of discussion that we haven't hit? What are ways that we can bring content information to you and learning to you in formats that are different than what you traditionally get and expect to receive when you just jump on any podcast? So that led me to a series of really cool serendipitous events where I befriended a magician from Italy, a 3rd-generation magician whose great-grandfather, grandfather, and now he is a magician where they cater to royalty, heads of state, celebrities, and these super, super magical experiences. And when I started to talk to this man about how he and his creative process unfolds, because if you think about a magician, his bar, his standard that his audience sets for him is he must fascinate his audience, otherwise he's a failure. You get that? As a magician, you can't just be like, okay, you have to fascinate your audience, otherwise you're a failure. And so with that bar, with that standard, I got really curious about what his creative process is. And he started to share with me, he said, Dominic, if I'm not fascinated by what I'm exploring, what I'm building, if I'm not crying during the process of my creation and tugging on my own heartstrings, how could I ever expect to fascinate my audience? How could I ever expect to tug on the heartstrings of my audience? So that opened my eyes to, my creative process could use a refresh, right? Could use a dismantling, because a lot of my creative process is I've got deadlines, I've got timelines to hit, and I'm very good. I've become conditioned in churning out things in a short period of time, coming up with an idea and really have a truncated time between ideation and execution. But what I haven't explored is the spaciousness of coming up with an idea, of allowing it to marinate, of seducing deeper parts of it forward, of creating non-ordinary experiences and delivering and packaging experiences for you that could be non-ordinary, that open up new portals, new dimensions for you. And when I applied that to the Great Man Mastermind, when we had our last in-person immersion down in Austin, Texas, when that process, that creative process had 3 months to unfold, we created a magical experience that many of the men said they will remember for the rest of their lives. That is the new standard to which we aspire as we deliver these podcasts to you. And so Brian and I are going to go back to the lab to mix up some chemicals, to create the potions, to concoct experiments, to start to feel into what this next evolution of the Great Man Within podcast is and the listening experience that we wish to deliver you as you are continuing the next stages of your journey on discovering and living the great man within you.